going to talk about pollution in the world. And this team is composed by Rafael, Lisa, Erika, Andre, David, and Brian. And as I mentioned before, we're going to talk about pollution around the world, how it affects us, how it can change the way we live, and we're going to propose some solutions. So stay and watch.
First, what is pollution? Pollution is the entering of dangerous contaminants in any natural environment that may affect it negatively or might produce an unexpected change in its composition. There exists many types of pollutions, since it can take many forms and harm us in many ways, like noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution, light pollution, etc. All these types of pollution harm us in many ways that a lot of us wouldn't think. For example, in 2015, Guardian News revealed that each year around 9 million pass away due to all these types, which threaten human society in a massive scale and make us think this problem needs to be fixed. Threatens humans in a massive scale and make us think this problem needs to be fixed. Currently, the top 100 polluted most known cities are in Asia, where particulate matter is most concentrated there. It covers around 55 and 65% of deaths worldwide, mainly China and India. In just China itself, around 1.6 million people in 2015 that passed away from heart and lung diseases, strokes caused by the big amounts of pollution the country currently holds, making this a reason why all people wear a mouth mask which protects them from any contaminated particles to enter in their system. Same goes for India, where also in 2015 an estimated 2.5 million people died due to diseases, where also in 2015 an estimated 2.5 million people died due to diseases created by pollution in countries.
Each day in the world, pollution turns into something more dangerous than what it should normally be. Most of the human society ignores the fact that a lot of people die due to pollution and just blame it on something else. Some of the main sources that cause pollution in the world are factories, transportation, human waste, etc. And these main sources have affected countries all over the world to a point where millions of human lives are lost because of this. Even our city, Monterrey, is widely affected by all these types of pollutions to a point where the sky turns a grayish color due to the high concentration of particles, and a lot of rivers are turned into industry trash bins, where a lot of marine and land animals are affected by this. So, a change is needed from all countries to keep the world like how it used to be.
The hypothesis is that the world has been massively polluted over the past years, so trying to fix it would definitely take longer than we might expect. So considering this, we know that it will be difficult to revert all the damages that the pollution has done to our society. The pollution problem will most likely be fixed if we dedicate all of our time into it, but it will take some years for our existence to pollution to disappear.
So, the test of hypothesis is, there are many ways to reduce all types of pollution in our daily lives. Some that can be simple and easy to follow, or will produce a small portion of benefits, and some others that might take a certain amount of time to be done, but will change pollution drastically. An example An example that is simple but will produce a change will be turning off unnecessary electronic items to save power, like light bulbs or TVs, or purchasing light-efficient bulbs that don't consume a lot of power. According to NSTAR, 29% of the energy used in non-residential buildings goes towards lighting, so, if possible, whenever you leave a room that you're not going to enter, turn off the lights. This can greatly reduce the consumption of power in your residential place and will definitely reduce the cost too. Another thing that we can consider as a way that will take some of your time but benefit the environment by a lot is using bikes instead of vehicles. As mentioned by ScholarBikes.com, the average car produces around 1.3 billion cubic yards of polluted air over the course of its lifespan, which damages the environment quite a lot. So utilizing a bicycle over a vehicle can really change the environment in a way that a lot of people don't see, bigger than they expected.
Vehicular reduction has been done in a lot of countries all around the earth, and these changes have brought quite an interesting change in pollution in the world. In 2008, the US produced 1.6 billion metric tons of waste mining ores for automotive production. But these amounts have been reduced greatly thanks to the consideration of using bikes and new companies that have utilized fewer toxic materials and more environment-friendly methods to maintain air pollution to the least amount possible. An example of this can be Tesla vehicles, that have the options of both utilizing energy for the vehicle or fuel as a last resort. And since the energy usage has been producing an environmental change, we can compare this to the daily used car that consumes fuel. And the air pollution emissions from the standard car compared to a Tesla is reduced by 40% due to the electricity usage. From a study by Science Daily, it was found that the 12% increase in summertime energy efficiency that reduces the number of fossils used by energy providing companies has started saving around 475 human lives due to the reduction of pollution, making this a point that, by turning off the lights, human lives can be saved, and pollution can be in fact reduced, but not by a lot. Doing this can also save you some money, since this increase in efficiency reduced the price of energy by 5 cents per kilowatt an hour of energy used. That is a massive change, since normally, in the US the price per kilowatt an hour is usually priced double this amount, making this a decent deal for both saving human lives and saving money at the same time.
So for my conclusion, I really think that there needs to be a change in how the earth is being controlled by humans. For example, a lot of pollution and a lot of contamination has been done in all of the earth, and not a lot of changes have been done. There have been a lot of campaigns that have funded a lot of money towards fixing those type of problems, but they don't really get that much of a relevancy as they should deserve it. And I really think that there needs to be a change towards how we treat all our ecosystems, all biomes, everything that surrounds us, and benefit it in some way. If every single one of us could help it somehow, the earth would have been really non-contaminated years ago. We would have fixed it really easily, but it's just our society doesn't seem to be really caring about how the environment is looking like. We just focus on our own things, and we just only do what we consider that is good towards us, not towards the environment.
This investigation has given me a great insight into how the countries and companies have been trying to reduce pollution. I understand now the gravity of the situation, as well as just how hard it is to reduce this without everyone's involvement in it. This has made me aware of the triumphs in this attempt to reduce pollution, as well as its losses. In my personal life, I will try to make something to reduce pollution in my community every so often, but without any real guideline to how I should be doing it. So from today on, I will go out of my way every Saturday to collect trash left over by my neighbors, so that someone does it, as it is not always done by the people who are supposed to do. I hope this helps in some degree, but I will also try to be more aware of my energy usage during the day, using the air conditioner less often, turning off my lights, disconnecting my devices when they are not being used, among other things.
As we all know, pollution has damaged the world in very serious ways. From the poles that they've been melting and increasing the water level of the sea, and to the cities as China and Mexico City that you can't live in them because of air pollution. There's a lot of particles in the air that people have to wear a mouth cover so that they can do and live their lives. And I propose to start decreasing the use of the car, like start using bikes and making like trips with other people. Like I live with someone, so we establish a route so we can follow it and use less gasoline so that pollution decreases.
In conclusion, it is necessary that everyone contributes to eradicate this huge and life-threatening problem that we have. Everyone has contributed into making it worse, and everyone should help control the situation. With the solution we have proposed, we should be able to make a change and save a lot of generations.
Conclusion. Nowadays, the pollution is an issue that most of the people cares about it, but there is no sufficient people, so the change could impact. So I think that most of the people should do little things that make big change, like separating the trash, reduce the use of plastic, and use public transportation instead of using the car. And I think that the government should make more campaigns so they can motivate the people to reduce and recycle things and stuff.
As a final reflection, we can conclude that even in our homes, we can make a contribution to the environment. For example, some things that avoid pollution are recycling, use green composting, use solar power technology, tree planting, organic farming, always clean your surroundings. To help the environment, we don't need to do great things, but follow these simple and small things that matters a lot. In our daily life, we come across a lot of small ways through which we can help to save the natural resources.